We live when? Okay. And are we live on Twitter as well? I think we are. Here we go. Up and here we go. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the live. Yep, this is working. Okay. Hello, this is Mark. Hey, welcome to the YouTube live. This is day 4 of building a small software startup live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If you're on Twitter, I added a link to the YouTube live. The quality is better there, so you'll have more chance to see what I'm typing and coding. We're day 4 of building this little startup live. So we already have a product that's working with a paywall. Users can log in. And today we're going to focus on the landing page and make the copywriting, which is one of the most important parts. And for that, we have a very special guest, which I will introduce in a few minutes. If you're coming from Twitter, probably a lot of you already know him. If you have no clue who I am Mark Lou. I am a solopreneur and I live here in Bali. I have no ambition to go big, no unicorn, no employee, no VCs. I just build my own tiny internet businesses. As you can see here, those are all the tiny things that I've made. And now it's making about $55,000 a month. I have 0 employee and it's 90% profit. And I am a Stripe user. 6 of those sites that you can see here are making money. And one of the most common customer requests that I get is, can I get an invoice? And can I update this invoice? And it's not a very funny task to do. So I would always have to go to Stripe, download the invoice, send it back to the customer. And sometimes if the customer asks for, like, they say they didn't get the right name or they need to add their business detail, their VAT or those kind of things to the invoice, I would have to screenshot the PDF invoice, update it on Photoshop and send it back to the customer, which is very dreadful and, to be honest, very boring. So I'm making Zenvoice to fix that. So this is the product that we've built live in the last 3 days. This is a very simple app where once you're logged in, you get a unique link and you connect your Stripe accounts. You can have 1 or 10 or 20 Stripe accounts. It doesn't matter. I've already connected 5 of mine and this is live. And what happens is when a customer asks for an invoice, we'll just send them my link and then they could type their own email inside. And then they could search for their invoices and they will see all the payments they've made for any of my Stripe businesses. So you can see here, this customer paid 2 times for Indie Page. And if they want the invoice, they can just download it or they can also update it. So we'll say Miguel can say that he doesn't live in New York, but instead he lives in Los Angeles. And then he clicks download the invoice, and that person will have a beautiful invoice ready for accountability or whatever this is. So this is working. This was built live during one of those lives, so yesterday and the 2 days before. And today we are going to work on the landing page. And for that, we are going to work with Nico. If you don't know him because you're from YouTube, he's a really cool guy, also living in Bali for now, who is very talented at copywriting, marketing, and ads. He helped me scale my Facebook ads and have a 3-time return investment. He's really good at copywriting, and he's a master at writing landing pages. So we are going to welcome him to the live. Is it working? Nope. I guess you're not here. Let's see. Okay. No, no, no. No one, no one. Okay, I'm the only one who can hear you. Let me try to re-add you. No, it doesn't work. Okay, we having a little bug here. Video. It was working. We were testing this for 1 hour, and it was working until now, and now it's not working anymore. What could it be? Because this is supposed. You're supposed to be here. What could that be? Yeah, fix it in production. uh, All right, the chat is live, so that's a good thing. I am going to have to restart. Nico, I'm going to restart another, whatever this is, video ninja things we're doing. I'll send you an updated link, man. Okay, I'm going to have, sorry about that. We're going to fix this. We're trying to invite Nico here. Enter as a director. Will be performing as well. We invite Nico. And okay, I am waiting for Nico just to share my entire screen. And I can hear you. Now I'm going to update the OBS thing. Is it working? No, is it working? Video display. Can you hear me now, Nico? Fuck, this isn't working. Oh boy. Okay, so you can see my screen, but you cannot hear me. And why can't we see you on the... Maybe it was working just before that. Before we went live, it was we made a test and it was working perfectly. Oh, maybe that's the thing. Please log. Okay, you are here. Everybody can see you normally, and if you speak, people can hear you. Can you try something, saying a little something? And if you guys are in the chat, let us know if you can hear us.
The app crashed because I thought you got logged out and logged in again.
Okay. At least, we have a visual on you. Can you actually hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Fuck. No, I was on the live. I got confused. No, I still can't hear you.
You still cannot hear me. Okay. All right. If you guys are in the chat, all good now. Okay, we can hear you both. Perfect. We can hear both of you. Okay, so they can hear us. I thought you were using Shift for the landing.
Yeah, but so the problem is I cannot hear Mark.
Okay.
So like you guys can, but I can't, because if I follow the live stream, then I would hear with a delay, so it would be a bit hard.
Okay, Nico, I'm making some tests with the mic. I'm going to play around with it.
I see.
Let me know if you can hear me.
But I still can't hear you.
Can you still? Okay, you cannot hear me. Maybe you can hear me now. 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 Still not?
Nope.
Right. Let's give it a try.
Oh, wait.
Bolzer, can you hear me now?
My end. C'est
okay.
bon. I can hear you.
And now can you hear me?
Yeah, it was because my I don't know why it was sending the sound to my microphone. Okay. My bad.
So okay, let's make a little run check. Nico, you can hear me and see my screen.
Yeah.
And people in the chat, please let us know. You can see my screen, you can see Nico, and you can see me.
Hopefully, yes. So we can get started with the copy finally.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay, perfect.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for coming. I know it's
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. So happy to have you here. You've been doing marketing for I think something like 4 years or something.
More. Like I started entrepreneurship 7 years ago, and I started marketing like 6 years ago. Like, I mean, I started directly with marketing, basically.
Okay. So you are a marketer that turned into a developer. I know you've been making apps.
Yeah.
I think you have Took Notes that is at 3,000 monthly recurring revenue. You sold Mailgun. No, that is mine. You sold Logo, your Logo app AI last year for something like $60,000.
Yeah.
So you have a good. Okay, so you have a good mix of both. So what we're going to be doing today, for people who are joining, this is the app we're going to make the landing page about. So this is just a simple invoice maker and a simple place for Stripe account owner to search, edit, and download invoices for their own customers. Nico is also a Stripe user, so he knows the pain of having to send those invoices to customers manually. And we're going to start with the copy. And for that, we're not going to edit anything. We're not going to code. We're going to go in Google Doc and we're going to do some copywriting, like pure copywriting.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake lots of indie do is like, they see like a nice landing page and they're like, oh, I'm going to do that and just replace it with my copy. And like it can work like sometimes, but you don't get the most out of it. So usually I like to start my copy with Google Docs. And I think my most performing copy is the one I made for Maker.that guide. And I started from Google Docs directly. So because you if you just use a template, you are limiting yourself. You like have to think inside a box, like, oh, how does that thing fit in there, and not how do I make my design fit the copy. So always think copy first and design, come later after that, after you've done the hard part.
Okay, so when you do landing pages for this one, like Maker's ads.guide, you would go on Google Drive, on Google Docs, and you will write just pure text first.
Yeah, I can even, I think I can find the draft so you can show it. Let me just search quickly. But I mean, I always try to start with Google Docs.
Okay.
It should be here.
I'm going to add this. We're going to say, what is the product? Stripe in self-serve invoices. All right, so we both have access to the Google Drive that's right here. And we have never done that before, so it's a new thing. And I think we're going to try to write copy. Probably, I bet Nico might have some like structure of how he organizes copy. So how to, maybe before writing copy, we'll even talk about customers and why they would even purchase these products. And we're going to try to iterate over that. And the goal is by the end of the stream, we should have an entire copy that that tomorrow I will pull in the landing page. So I will make the TailwindCSS components and I will use the copy that we made today in order to have a proper landing page.
Yeah, I think so. I think the first important thing to keep in mind is like what's the goal of the landing page. And that might sound stupid, like obviously I want to get money, sales, whatever, but like be sure, like, are you going to want people to to sign up for the app, or do you want people to purchase directly? Like you have different options, and based on your funnel and stuff like that, like you might want to use one or the other. So first, what's your main goal for this landing page? Is it to get people to try the app, to get signed up, to leave their email, or to get an upfront purchase? Like that's the very first thing. Like define the goal of your copy.
Okay, so maybe we can write this down. The goal is very simple: is to get sales, and the pricing is it's going to be 99, I think, but for the launch, that's probably going to make it 49 or something like this. And this is a paywall first, login after.
Okay, so basically people go on the landing page, then they read, then they click the purchase whatever button, and then they have to pay upfront to access the app. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, is that like a one-time purchase or subscription?
It is a one-time purchase, and if you're watching the live stream, it's available at zenvoice.io. You can see the landing page is blank, and now there is just a buy button. When you click, you have a checkout session.
Okay. And okay, wait. I'm not sure if that's intended, but on the stream you have like the technical like preview, like what the window you see on the left side. So I don't know if it's intended or not, but
yeah, so I can see you better. Otherwise, I'm just facing I don't know. I have a feel if I don't see you, it's kind of weird. Maybe I'll give it more space.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I don't need that.
Okay.
Oh wait, I think I found a better way. I'm probably gonna do something like that. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do something like this.
Okay, and I think actually let's make the text a bit bigger because it's small to read, and yeah, we can just use whatever. I just always use this font, but yeah. So okay, we have a goal. So get sales. So basically get people. Right. The purchase it, yeah, whatever. Okay, so then we have to define like, okay, what the product is exactly, like what the job of the product, the benefits, it's like very basic stuff every marketer say, but that's, I mean, there is a reason. It's just, it helps you get some clarity about like who you're going to target and some like emotional levers and stuff like that. So I've been in the situation because I made like a similar mini app for myself not long ago just to get the invoice. And I think so there are some alternatives, but you don't want people to have to sign up and stuff like that. It's like it's a headache, pay a subscription for that. I just want like my customer to be able to just click one button, they have an invoice and done. Not like I don't want to handle like a bunch of complicated stuff. And I think that's the main thing. Like the simplicity of use is going to be the main leverage, I would say. It just works. It's easy, it's simple, you don't have to bother. Like you just click, it works. So I think that's the main goal. So call it the angle, I guess, because obviously the customer are going to be people who have like simple stuff. It's not going to be like big companies who have like tons of invoice and shit. They probably have accountant for that. So it's like simplicity and target, I guess, like people like us. So solopreneurs. Usually it's like people from the European Union, like the German, who say like, can I get their invoice? So it's like people who sell one-time products, because Stripe handles subscriptions automatically. So solopreneur who sell one-time products, and I don't know if that's grammatically correct, but customers invoices. So that's the target.
You think for subscriptions, we don't need to? It's like it doesn't make sense.
Stripe generates invoices for subscriptions, so you don't need to make them.
I think it also makes it for one-time payments. It's just that when people make a purchase, they will get it right away, and they'll get the invoice from Stripe. But the problem is when they do their accountability later by the end of the month, they forgot they made a purchase 20 days ago, and they received that email with the invoice. And so the first thing that would be in their mind is like, oh, I'm going to reach out to the support email to get that invoice.
So that's right, because I think there might be a few different problems that this solves. So
yeah.
Stripe unless you enable it. So there is an option to get invoices for Stripe, but first you have to pay for it, and that can be like up to $2 per transaction, even if the customer don't need the invoice, which is basically wasted money. So let's start with that, and then we can add the other one. So Stripe doesn't automatically provide so invoice for one-time payment purchase unless enabled, and it doesn't work. Like you cannot get an invoice for a past transaction. So
yeah, that's true. Once the invoice is made, so yeah.
For past one-time purchase. Okay. I don't generate invoice. Okay. So what were you mentioning? Because you said for you the main issue is that people forget or something.
So yeah, that's kind of what you say here. They forgot they got the invoice sometimes by email, and then later on by the end of the month when they have to do their accountability, they reach out and they say like, oh, by the way, can I get an invoice? Which they got, but probably 20 days ago, so they forget it.
Are you sure? Because Stripe sent a receipt, but not an invoice. And that's very different because the receipt is just say, oh, someone purchased that, but the invoice, you have the company information and stuff on it. So I think that's, for me, that's the main issue I had. Like people were all like, oh yeah, I got a receipt, but I did not got a proper invoice. Like my accountant needs those information on the invoice, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. So that's a good point. You know what? Oh, that's probably why I got so many emails. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if it was just that, you can just say, oh, just look at your past email and you will find it. But I think most people do that before contacting the support.
Okay.
But I would put expensive differently. So okay. And I think the last one is so there are a lot of apps that exist. If you want to write something, there are a lot of apps who already exist, but then you need to to sign up and stuff like that. Like it's just a fucking headache. Most existing apps are we just want something simple, or we can just contact the support. So for you, the goal is to reduce the amount of customer support.
Yeah.
And for people is to, I mean, they don't want to contact you. They just want to get invoice easily. So that solves the problem for, I think, two people, like customer and the customer of the customers. So yeah, I think, I mean, so actually normally you define the problem before picking the angle. It's just, I was familiar with a product.
Okay.
But basically, so what I normally do is just, you write down all the problems the product solves, maybe because your product is one thing, but it can do multiple things. So for example, for my main app, Talk Notes, you can use it for, brainstorming, you can use it for journaling, like there are lots of use cases. And the thing is, so eventually on the long term, you will pick, like you will make one landing page per angle or per target audience. But on the short term, when you're just starting out, it's just waste of time. Like you just focus on, making one single very good one. But you need to focus on, okay, what's the most appealing angle? Like, and if you, for example, if you read, I don't know, some comments or you talk to people and you see that most people, like maybe 60-70% are interested by the like brainstorming option and not necessarily journaling, then okay, you need to focus on journaling, on brainstorming, sorry, and not journaling. So it's just about that. Define all the problems, and then you can just pick, okay, I'm going to focus on like this single problem, this, and that will be my main angle for the rest of the landing page. So
okay,
yeah, that's how we would normally do it.
One tiny thing, which I get a lot, and this is the most annoying to handle, is if customers forget to add their business details, like their VAT number or those kind of details. Probably most often they're Europeans. They want to update their invoice, and this is a very tricky thing to do.
Yeah. So I know there are some regulations, like in some countries, you cannot edit invoice, like it's an absolute headache. But again, we're not targeting those people. So I think we're just looking for people who like want something easy. They don't really care about all the big regulations. They just want their invoice and basta.
But
So
don't you
yeah,
think that would be working? Because currently what you can do is, once you get your invoice, you can just, instead of having Nico and your email, you could have Nico, your business ID, your business VAT, and you can update it yourself.
What do you mean
Like, okay, maybe I'll share the most two common requests I get. So can I get an invoice?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I think, what we highlight in the first part. And can I update my invoice details? So these are the most common questions that I got all the time. And I feel like this doesn't, I think this is already working. You just get the invoice, and instead of having the person name, you can change it for the business name, or you can add VAT details.
Yeah, but what I mean is that I know that in some countries, they don't allow you to edit some invoice after they're done or something. I'm not sure, but point is, we're not targeting people who are, okay, I want like a very perfect square, corporate level accounting or whatever. It's just some people need invoice, I need to generate, and basta. So that's a different target from like, big companies that have very specific requirements and regulations. So it's important to keep that in mind. We are talking to the solopreneur who really don't have time for that. He don't really care, because there are regulations, but that's not his main priority. He just want to get invoice to customers.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's just something to keep in mind.
Okay. I keep insisting because this is happening a lot with ShipFast. It's like sometimes I sell ShipFast to probably some people are freelancers, so they have a little business in France, for instance. They're not big corporates, so they don't care if the invoice is perfectly formatted, but they still need to add their VAT details to that invoice. And so that's just a little number they want to add to their invoice, and which now Zenvoice can make very easily. And I think some other Stripe business owner can relate to that question. So I think it's kind of important to mention it in the current Stripe problem thing. And because we're targeting solopreneurs, we're going to make a copy for solopreneurs. We don't care if a big corporate sign up.
Yeah. Basically the point is we make something simple. It doesn't have to be like regulation and stuff. Like, as you said, people add their invoice detail, but also it's important. Like, if you ask them upfront when people are checking out, it's probably going to lower the conversion rate, because some people will be like, oh, what's my VAT number? I need to add it now. I need to look for it. And then they get buzzed or something. So you probably, even if it's like very little, but you probably lose some sales if you add that immediately, because it adds more thing to the form. And you want to keep things very simple. People pay and everything else can go after, all the details. But the most important thing is they pay, you get the money. Like, that's the number one thing. And you don't want to be distracted by like details like that. So I think that's...
I think...
you see what I mean?
Yeah, but maybe we're talking about two different topics, actually. I'm talking about once you are a Zenvoice customer, so you've paid, you set up your Zenvoice unique link, you will send it to your customers who will request invoices or request invoices update. And so those customers will already have paid, but they might have forget to add some details to the invoice.
But that's the whole... I'm talking for so we have customers who will pay for the invoice, but they have their own customers.
Yeah.
And they don't want their customer to put all their detail upfront, because it might reduce conversion rate.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, adding too much details on the form prepayment.
Yeah.
So no, I think we talk about the same thing. I'm just talking about the customer of the customers, basically.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, okay. Let's go back to the thing. So the main goal of this first thing is, you define, like, you get to you write down what your product solve, just target audience. It's like not really brainstorming, but trying to think about, okay, who is this for? And this is like boring part of writing copy, but I think that's essential. Otherwise, people will, you just write whatever goes through your mind, and it's not necessarily towards the perfect audience. So yeah, that's the first thing. And so now we have the solution. So this is basically what the invoice do. And then it's just like, okay, one click invoice, no need to manually send an email to your customer. Like it reduces support. So basically we list the benefits, like how the app solve all those problems.
Okay. Do you want to type it in?
Yeah, okay, well, I will do it then. Check. So how can you call it? Define the solution, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, so let's see. One invoice generation. Serve up. I need to support, I would say. I mean, yeah, that's the main thing. Like it reduces support. So support. Okay. And I guess, so I don't know if that happened to you, but sometimes people are like, oh, if I cannot get an invoice, I would have to ask for a refund or something. So that's also something. I know some people ask me for yeah, I really need an invoice, otherwise I cannot purchase. I have to ask for a refund. So
oh, then you give me some ideas, wait.
Or whatever. And yeah, I think those are the main areas. Break workflow.
I know that
What
makes
do you
sense.
mean by break? Not really. What do you mean?
In the sense that it's the kind of things you don't want to do, right? So you're in the mood, you're producing good work, and then suddenly you have to go to that Stripe account, search for that customer. There's I don't know, it breaks the workflow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. I would put it in the avoid refunds area. So like, refunds or like, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. So not just refund, but like, how to say? Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Actually, let's skip workflow. As long as it's clear, it's mainly, I think people who are watching might not get, like if they start reading like that, but the point is it doesn't have to be very clear when you write copy. It just need to be clear for you, unless you are doing it with other people.
Okay. I'm the student here, but maybe we can we can separate two things. Now we're defining the solution. So one-click self-serve invoice generation is somehow a feature, and the goal is to reduce the support. So I feel like those are two categories, like feature and what it provides on the customer.
Yeah, feature and benefits. Yeah. So yeah, like basically I separate it like that, but you can make a table or whatever. It's just like basically benefit and how I do that. So but I guess then we can do like that, because reducing support is a subcategory of breaking the workflow.
Yeah.
I guess. Like, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. So yeah.
It is, yeah. Okay.
So
maybe this will be necessary paperwork. Mandatory. So wait, maybe I'll try to reorganize this real quick. I kind of see it this way. Oh, you're adding colors. Is it what you did? No. Or you're highlighting?
No, it's just a highlight.
Okay.
But I actually sometimes do. Okay, wait. Wait, I got confused. I have like Windows open. Let me just close everything. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the like upfront work, and what I like to do usually. So you get those information either if you are a customer yourself, like if you're targeting people like you, or by talking to your customers. And what I like to do is to divide things into 3 categories. So that's like preparing for the copy, but like you have things for sure. So this is things that people told you. You have things that you guessed, and like things that you make a deduction, and things that are just oh, I think this is that, but you don't have anything to back it up. And this is like usually when you do customer research, which go like a bit before the copy, but not that necessary here because we already know the target audience. But yeah, so this is just a thing. If you have to do customer research, just remember to like make sure, because you don't want to base your whole copy around something that you guessed. You need to be sure that this is an actual problem or whatever.
Okay, this is where actually using your own product and experiencing your own problems really helps, because you're very likely to make sure that the copy matches the need, the problems, the customer experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because otherwise, just like a guess or an educated guess, and like you want to have like more than that ideally. So yeah, I think that's a good enough for now. But actually, let me check in the YouTube, maybe if the questions or anything about that, maybe.
We do have some questions.
About
yeah.
Yeah. Let me check. What's your Spotify like?
Now we can answer that later, or not answer at all for now.
Yeah, I don't see questions on the YouTube live, but maybe on the Twitch or something you can see some. I don't know.
I'll let you know. I have the questions here. I'll let you know if there is anything relevant to copywriting. I think now we can move on.
Okay.
I think it would be nice if we can, finish the copy within 2 hours. Do you think that's doable?
So not the final copy for sure, but we can have a draft for like in 2 hours, easily. But like a real final copy for me take me like a few days to finalize everything, to have everything on the actual landing page. But for the Google Docs draft, we can finish that.
Okay.
So I think now we can like define the hero. So for me, the goal of the hero is just to tell exactly why are people on this page. So tell what the product does, maybe show some kind of demo or something, and then the rest of the landing page is here to answer people objections and questions or whatever. So there are lots of templates like IDA, problem, agitate, solution, whatever, and like you don't have to stick to those. They are good when you're starting out, when you need to have like a guide, but you don't necessarily have to stick out. But for me, I found that a hero giving like as much information as possible, but of course while still being short, is what seems to work best. But there are no one way of doing copy. Like that's a problem with an infinite amount of solutions. So we can just let's start with that, and then we will see from the rest. So let's do I like to just start with the hero. So we need to have I usually like to have like a big headline, a sub headline, some kind of description, a call to action, and then a way to visually represent the product, what you're selling. So I think I have, if you want to show some example, you can show the landing page of Talk Notes and Maker Ads Guide. I think it do it pretty well. So here you have, it directly, like immediately you can see turn messy thoughts into actionable notes. So it gives you an idea already, okay, what this is about. And then you have the #1 AI voice note app. I think the headline can definitely be improved, but it gives you like a good overview. But the important thing here on the right side, you have a live demo. So I think no matter what you have, like a quick demo like that, just, people can see how the product works immediately. It's just better than, they could read like a 5-minute video, like they could watch a 5-minute video or read a lot of text, but here they can just try the product themselves. They can visualize themselves using it. So I think that's probably what could work best in this case. And I think on the Maker Ads guide, I have just a picture showing the results. So I think it's like 300 invested, and so 250 invested and $1,000 of sales. So it shows basically the benefit. And so you want to really make people visualize how the life could be with this product, basically. So in this case, they can do that by trying the demo of the product. They can see, oh, wow, I could do that with the product, etc. And in the other one is just, oh, wow, this is what this person got as a result. So maybe I can get that too. So for me, that's the important part of Hero. So people know immediately, okay, like, is this landing page good for me or not? Like, do I keep reading or do I leave the page? So I think that's what we will try to make here. So
Okay.
headline, sub-headline, not mandatory, but I like to have one, and description and call to action. So actually, just... okay. So all of the hero is just maybe filter out, I don't know. Okay, so we have the headline. So I think what I like to do is just okay. So then basically, I mean, it's just write anything that comes through your mind, all the headlines, IDs you can have. So let's see. So the very first thing is we want to catch people's attention because they're on the page. So we somehow got their attention, but it's still not done yet. We want to make them clearly understand, is it, is like, why is this page good for you? Why is it going to interest you? So yeah, actually might be easier like that. So let's see. It could be something. So it needs to be something they can relate to. So I think in this case, it could be something like I read of, let me think. So sometimes you won't get the exact words you want. So what I like to do is just to put brackets, I read of like that. So you just capture, the ID, but not necessarily the shape, sort of, and you can come back to it later. But the goal here is just to brainstorm a bit. You can use ChatGPT for that, actually. You can get, decent ideas. But I think when you're starting out, it's good to, try to make the muscle work, because otherwise you will always be dependent on ChatGPT. So I would suggest try to get at least, 5 to 10 headline idea of your own, and then try ChatGPT to see if you can find something better. So never send a Stripe invoice, never. I feel this one is a bit weak because, like, people don't want not to send a Stripe invoice. Like, it's not the problem, but it's just like they need to, like, as you said, it breaks the workflow and stuff like that. But the immediate problem is not never send a Stripe invoice. Like, I don't, like, they want to send a Stripe invoice in this case. So I'm not sure this would works. But let's see what we can come up with. And I mean, that may be a bit boring doing live stream because you have to think. So there will be some blanks, but let's see.
Yeah, go, man. I mean, if you need to think, go ahead. Think. I'm also trying to think.
I think this one, again, this is not the final version of it, but because it's way too long, but the simple solution to send invoice for your one-time purchase with Stripe. So simple, like it directly go into the angle, like, okay, it's going to be, something simple, like no sign up, whatever. Send invoice for your one-time purchase. So people who have one-time purchase product can directly relate to that. They're like, oh, okay, this is like, this is for me, I do that. And with Stripe. So we are being, specific, and people are like, oh, okay, I do one-time purchase, I do Stripe. So that's probably going to interest me. But I think just having those two is not enough. We need to have a bit more of that. But I think one-time purchase and Stripe is going to be essential for either the headline or the sub-headline, but we need to have a way to make people directly say, okay, if you have that, this is for you.
I like it, man. I think Stripe is important. I think the one-time purchase is not the most important here, because then you filter out all the people who do subscriptions. And I remember with Habits Garden, for instance, I would still get people asking me for invoices.
But with Stripe, normally they get it in their email. Like, it automatically send it. So that's why I don't think that's the main target. Like, maybe it's, I don't know what, like, some people could be interested, but I really don't think that's the main target. Like with Talk Notes, I don't think I've ever had anyone asking me for an invoice because Stripe send the email automatically after the purchase.
You don't have people asking you, oh, maybe because, well, okay. But I think
for subscriptions.
But I think it's also because I don't think TalkNote is intended to. It's something you purchase as a customer. You never purchase this under a business. For ShipFast,
I do actually. I have lots of business for TalkNotes. I have lots of business who use it, but
and they never ask you to edit their invoice. They never say like, "Hey, can you?" I forget to add my business details. That's man. I got so many emails like this. I forget to add my business details to the invoice.
Yeah.
Please add this to the invoice and send me back. I get this so many times for ShipFast.
Well, I don't know. I never got any message about invoices using subscriptions, and I know most of my customers are like half of them at least are professionals. But I mean, maybe we can remove one-time purchase, I guess. But let's make a variant. So
yeah, I think we can remove it because it's but I mean both work the same. So
I would still. So the other thing, at this stage I would not remove anything unless it's like really bad or whatever. But I would just try to add as much information as possible, and then we will remove the worst one. So switching to send invoices for your Stripe purchase. I'm not a big fan of purchase, but transactions, I don't know. We can see that. We can, like, right now we're just capturing the global ID to send invoices for your Stripe transactions. So let's see what we have. Just something simple. So we can also talk about support somehow. So let's see. Stop. Okay, that could work. Maybe we can plug Stripe somewhere after, but I think.
Yeah, we can put a logo, I think, of Stripe somewhere in the demo, probably.
Yeah. So yeah. And I think so a great way to like represent that could be to have like those notification popping up saying like, oh, where's my invoice? Can I get an invoice? Stuff like that. I think I did that for one of my app.
Oh man, I love that. Oh man, I absolutely love that. I think I'm gonna. This is good. I'm gonna add notifications like this on the hero section.
Yeah, basically that. Exactly.
It says, can I get an invoice? Can you update my invoice? Please send me an invoice.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff.
So, I did that for one of my landing page back then, and people were like, "Oh wow, that's actually fun." And you can put some fun things like if you get people's approval, sort of, they will be like, "Oh, that's funny," like they spend the time, like they really are me, like they know what I need, like, because those are real message from real customer or something. But let me see if I can find the.
Actually, I think there is a business that does that. I think it's something like with your mailbox where you reduce emails you receive or something. Mail blocker. Sorry, I'm disturbing you. I'll let you move on with that. I'm going to try to find that product.
No, I was also looking for my our landing page, but the JavaScript is not saved, I think. But I think you can also try Muzzle app. Actually, that's where I got the original ID from. And you will see on the top right, you will have some notifications popping up. It's like old,
man, this is so nice.
Like that should give the ID. Yeah. So I think that's a great way to show visually the pain point, like people will directly be like, oh yeah, I can feel that, I got all those fucking messages saying, where's my invoice? Like the typical German guy, can you get an invoice? So I think lots of solopreneurs can relate to that.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, so this for sure will be there. And so probably the angle we should go for the headline should be probably a positive one, like not the first one or not the last one. Those two are kind of like negative, like I don't know if you see what I mean. The other two are kind of like a solution, like they're like, hey, it's the simplest solution, and you can relate because you've seen that notification. Oh, actually, no, maybe not. I don't know.
I would still not rely fully on the notification because I don't know, for some reason it might not show properly or whatever. I would still keep the headline the main thing. But usually I tend to avoid putting like negative headlines, sort of. I prefer to formulate it in a positive way. I think never pay again to send an invoice could also work, but I don't think that's the main issue. Like, honestly, I wouldn't mind paying 20 cents per invoice when people ask me, but it's just I don't want the headache of enable it for everything or something. I think this one could go in the description for sure. But I think the headline should focus really on the main pain point, which is here the simplicity or the headache of doing the customer support. I think the cost is secondary probably.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can always come back to our headline after. So, just move on. Subheadlines. Oh. Okay. Because I want that in the description. Really, what you want to catch people's attention is something they can relate to. So that's why you always need to be very specific in the headline. Like the more specific you can be, the better it is. But sometimes it can also work against you because obviously the more specific you go, the less amount of people will relate to the headline. So you will lose some customers, but you will convert other better. So you need to find the right balance between precision and like reach or like volume, I guess. So no, why demo? Oh, you wrote that. So you can write red don't pay.
We have someone from Twitch, a super team, who is actually working for an invoicing company. And you say there are so many pain points in invoicing solutions.
Yeah, I think it's that's why when you make a product, like you have really lots of angles you can go with. Like maybe one product focus on, having sure you have like a very perfect invoice that will fit the need of your German customers, accountant perfectly. Maybe others focus on the simplicity. So like maybe if a product is working and you can try to replicate it for another like angle sort of. There are lots of ways to go with that.
Yeah, the product is focused on Stripe transaction invoices. Yeah. I'll let you think, Nico. I'll show a quick demo for if people are joining now. This is called Zenvoice.
Yeah.
This is a very simple app like this, where as a Stripe accounts owner, those are my actual real Stripe businesses. Those are live, and customers ask for invoice or to update those invoices. And what Zenvoice does is you have a unique link that you can send to your customers, and when they input their emails, I'm trying to find if I see some actual emails here, then they can retrieve the invoice they've made with any of my Stripe accounts. So in this case, Indie Page for $45, and they can either download the invoice or edit it, change their billing address, billing details, VAT, and all that, and then download the invoice again.
And just so there is an interesting comment from Russian Surf Puppy. So do you ever try to write multiple versions of a copy and select what works? Yeah, actually, sometimes like it's good to write multiple copies, just remake everything from scratch, and like just try and see if it converts better. But usually that's how I start, at least. I just write my ideas like that. But then after, when you launch, like, because you don't want to be stuck for 1 month on the copy. Like, just at some point you have to accept that you're going to ship an imperfect copy. But normally a good product should work even with a imperfect copy, like as long as you have the minimum sort of. So you can always come back to it, change it later, or remake it from scratch. I actually did it for some products, remake the whole copy from zero again, and that's fine. So yeah, let's see for the description. So don't want to pay $2 to Stripe per invoice. I feel this is like a too complex sentence. There is negation, $2 per invoice. I don't know, not a big fan, but let's see what we can have from that. Invoice. I think this one is a good start. Tired of receiving 10 messages per day asking for an invoice. But I think I really want to put somewhere like oh fuck, I'm stuck, like what the fuck is the solution? Because there is really, I think, for every person who go through that, is like there is this fuck moment where you realize that Stripe, you're stuck. You cannot generate invoice from Stripe. Like, you have no solution other than doing the invoice manually. So like the oh fuck moment. I think if we can speak to this specific event, it will make the copy even more relatable, and people will be like, oh yeah, that's definitely a product for me. So let's see. So we can also have like, some kind of relatable angle. So you can also, if you want to, so if you take the example of maker as guide, I think at some point I talk in the copy at the first person, like, oh, I've been there, I've done that. I don't know, I don't remember where, but if you scroll down a bit more, yeah, here. So that's also a possibility. If you are part of your target audience, you can directly use first person, like, oh, I've been there, I've done that, this is why it sucks, this is how you can do better. That's something that can work if you are part of the target audience. So people can be like, oh, wow, this is like one of us. So the product is definitely going to work for me. So here, I think maybe we'll change it. But the idea I have is like, we've all been there.
Your ideal customer
I'm used to the auto
on the landing
brackets.
page is coming with their problem in their head. Why do I have to pay $2 per star?
Do
you think about sending invoice automatic transaction being done? Do you think about sending invoice automatically on a transaction being done on one of your products? I guess I have to check the Stripe account. Emails, I think. Yeah, that could be an interesting. Part, like sending invoices right upon a successful checkout. No idea if that would work.
What I did for Maker's Outside, because I had the problem, right after the purchase, you arrive on the thank you page and you get like a, like a thank you video. This is how you can access the guide, stuff like that. But I also have like a big button that really stands out saying like generate an invoice. And I think I didn't got anyone asking me for invoice since then because they directly see it.
Yeah.
So I think,
and
you
I think
could.
I think this would be. Now I see how this works. If you are building something, you can create a customer portal. Like Stripe have a solution where I think it's actually here. There is a customer portal on Stripe where, I didn't make a purchase with my account, but normally you would have access to your customer ID, the credit card you use, the actual invoice. So I don't think this would be needed. I think this is not like, this is used for people who forgot they have an account and they paid like 20 days ago. And then they're doing their accountability because they have the reports every 15th of the month or something like that. And then the first thing that comes to their mind is not to log into their accounts, but to reach out to the business owner, like to the customer support, to ask for an invoice. Instead of having to search through the user dashboard. Of course, some do. And that's why, we don't receive like 100 emails per week, but some of them don't, and they'll just reach out to customer support. And that's what I'm trying to solve with Zenvoice. And on the second stage, this is more targeted, but I'm trying to solve people who did not provide business details or messed up, like they write their email with their business name, and instead of typing their name, they made a typo in it, and they're like, oh, I want to edit my invoice. So this is more like a kind of like post-purchase, like later, before doing your accountability thing, solution that I'm trying to provide. If that makes any sense. I lost everyone.
And so so I moved the, what I was saying, like we've all been there, the moment you realize you fog, because Stripe can generate invoices for past transaction. And even if you could, you need to enable it, and they charge up to $2 for all transactions. So I moved it at the bottom because I think it might be too long for a description. So we might use it in the body copy. I don't know yet, but just put it aside. And actually someone asked, so do you find question helps, or do they come across too aggressive and salesy? And actually, questions are really good if you can use them, because it open like a loop sort of, and people will want an answer. So like how to describe it? I think you have open loop, and you can Wikipedia page. I think. Yeah, so basically people will want an answer, so they are more like if you ask a question, they will be more likely to read the rest, because if you ask a question, it's likely that you will give the answer, like it's expected. It's a marketing copy, so it's just a good way. It's a really good way to catch people's attention. Usually I use it in headlines when necessary, like maybe, for example, I use, like, if you was selling something that reduce the cost, I don't know, advertising or something, you can say like, oh, are you wasting like $1,000 per month in fees or whatever? And then you, like, people who will match this, like who actually spend $1,000 on Stripe fees or something, they directly relate to that, and they will want the answer to that. So it's like, oh yes, it's me. But you need to ask it in a way where people will be like, either like, oh yes, that's me, or maybe like, did you know you could do that? And people will be like, oh no, I didn't know, I'm interested, let's learn more about that. I don't know if that's clear enough.
For the description, Baudelaire, do you think, because your approach, it looks like what I usually do is I give people like some kind of like a promise of what they will get in the headline, and then I explain how I'll give them this promise. I would say something like, Zenvoice is the simplest solution to send invoices on self-serve invoices to your customers.
I mean, that can work. But I would try to be very more specific in the description, like, because like the description, like people who reach this point are more interested, so you can give a bit more details, just write a more lengthy copy. So I would add a bit more in there. But
invoices, so you don't have to.
Let your customers find. I would even ask like generate, because there is nowhere where I'd say, oh, you can actually make the invoices. So I would just I would replace find by generate.
It doesn't.
Or create.
Okay.
Like
I mean,
edit
I will use, so the way it works, it will search for customers under their emails, find those customers in Stripe API, and see if they have any invoices under their name. So if they don't have invoice, they will not get an invoice. They will not get any results.
No, but so that's the thing. Stripe do not generate an invoice. Like, they need to generate it. Stripe will, so what you do, you look for transactions, not invoices. So that's why I think it's important, because people, if you write like find, people will be like, oh, then this is for like only existing invoices. You know what I mean?
It is. I think that's where we have to be on the same page here, and I think Stripe makes an invoice all the time. It might not send it, but it makes an invoice all the time. Let me show you what I do on the retrieve invoice.
I mean, unless if you enable the option for it, yes, they will show an invoice. But
this is what I do: a Stripe account, retrieve.
Yeah, I think you retrieve the sessions, and then you find the matching transactions, right?
I search the Stripe invoices based on the customer ID, which I got from the customer email.
But then the problem, it's not going to work if you don't manually enable, basically, if you have that, you can just click Stripe send invoice button, and it should work, because Stripe do not automatically generate the invoice.
It does. I tried. I think I tried with all products. It does all the time. It might not send the email to the customer, but it does all the time.
Actually, okay. Is it live? Like, can I try it for my own thing?
Yeah, sure. You mean Zen?
I will give it a try after.
Zenvoice, right?
Yeah, Zenvoice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's working. So, for instance, for whatever, like I try to plug all my products to it, and then I can search any of my ShipFast customers, for instance, and I would find their invoice. So it's a one-time payment. I haven't enabled anything, but Stripe will create an invoice for any payments that's made in the checkout. So the point here, there might be some more complex solution and some problem that I'm not aware of, but I'm trying to make this a very tiny product for now, and trying to serve only my needs and hope that some other people will have it. Is that even though they would get an invoice, either Stripe didn't send it to them, I don't know, and if it did send it to them, they received it like maybe 20 days ago, and when they do their accountability, they forgot that they got an email. And so the first reaction would be to send me an email and say like, can I get an invoice? And so they already have the invoice. It's in Stripe. I would have to go in the customer section. I would have to find the payment they made, download the invoice, and send it back. And the worst part is when they ask me to edit that invoice.
Yeah, okay, I see. But okay, we'll have to verify that, because I have doubts, because I spend like 1 hour with the support asking them for an option to get the invoices, and they said me there is no option if you didn't enable it. But I think like, yeah, so then you need to, like, it's a different problematic then, because for me personally, my problem was like, I just don't have any option. Like, there is no other option. The invoice do not exist, so I have to generate it manually, to create manually an invoice. And I think because I made a post on Twitter, lots of people were saying, oh yeah, I have the same issue, like blah, blah. So at least, even if, okay, maybe there is an option that exists or whatever, I think most people are not aware of it. And if you say find invoice, the word find implying that it already exists. But if it doesn't matter if it exists or not, people think it doesn't exist. So yeah, it's I don't think, like, I think the word generate is more appropriate here, but I might be wrong. I mean, that's depending on the target audience.
Okay, I think in the case of Zen Voice, it will be only to find invoices. I will not be able to generate them. If you don't have an invoice with Stripe, if you have never purchased with the business, you will not get the invoice. So to stay relevant with the products, I will stay with find, and then I'll double check the Stripe invoicing thing later, and maybe we'll chat later, like do some debugging and try to understand what is actually going on. Why do customers of yours don't get the invoice and mine do get the invoice? But one thing for sure is that for my actual current Stripe businesses, they will create an invoice in Stripe, and I can find it with the API. And so the idea is really to let, instead of like doing it manually for customers and having to answer those emails, have a Zen dispute, like Zen Voice, send one link, and then customers self-service to find their invoices. So maybe we can make the copy for that, and later on we can see, if there is another alternative to this product.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's on the side. So yeah. Find it, download the Stripe invoice. We don't have to. I would add. It's just 1 minute setup, reduce customer support. So I think this basically shows everything. Maybe let your Stripe customer. That way we got really everything. So we have Stripe, find, edit, download the Stripe. They're like that. I think you want to show the relevancy as soon as possible, but maybe.
I think let your customers, because this sentence is quite hard already. So maybe we can put it here, and probably it will be in the headline. So We'll have, I have a feeling we'll have Stripe anyway shown everywhere. There will be the Stripe logo, and the demo there will be the Stripe logo. It's also probably going to be in the headline, and maybe we focus, because I think like this part is quite important here.
Yeah, but I don't think the invoice is really relevant. So maybe you can just let your customer find, edit, and download the Stripe invoices.
True.
You can just remove this part.
So you don't have to reduce customer.
So yeah, let your customer find their invoices, but then you can just remove Stripe from here. But if you don't put it here or in the headline or something, and I think even if it's here, you need to add like some kind of FAQ, because people will be like, oh, is it like only for Stripe, or does it also work for, maybe like Lemon Squeezy or something? So I think this is important. I would add it here. I think that's going to be an objection, so I'm going to add FAQ part.
Oh wow! Okay, you move forward here.
Okay, so yeah, then I think if we go with your option, I think this one is the best one. So you don't have to reduce customer support. So it show like this is a benefit in just 1 minute. So it's just like, oh wow, how fast is it? You just need 1 minute setup. So it's customer support with a 1 minute setup, with just a 1 minute setup, maybe something like that. We'll see later. But yeah, I think we can go with this one for now. And let's see. Then let's see. I think we can use that as headline too. So if we don't end up using this one, then that could also be a good headline. Find, edit, and download Stripe invoice in just one click, or generate or whatever. But I think that could work too.
I think that's not really the point here. I think what I want is like something that tells me like, oh, never take care of a Stripe invoice yourself. Let your customer do it.
So maybe something like self-serve, like we can, because actually we never mentioned self-serve anywhere. So that could be a place for the sub-headline actually, like self-serve, the first self-serve invoice solution or something like that. Maybe like, I think adding the word self-serve somewhere would show like, oh, this is like people do it on their own. I don't have to manually, like it basically prove that, it doesn't take time. So
wouldn't that make sense in another part of the website? Because now we're trying to get attention. So it's good. It's a self-serve solution, but probably it's good. We have a feature stuff that shows customers self-serve their invoices.
So I wouldn't put it in the headline, but that can go in the description, because your goal of the hero is not to catch people's attention. That's the headline goal. But then the goal of the headline is to make people read the rest. So you want to give info about the product. But I guess because what I think we can do is mention it somewhere, maybe in the description, and have like some kind of demo where people can try it yourself and they can generate an invoice. But yeah, no, it only works if they pay. Then I guess a video.
I mean, that a video
like
that
demo
would.
Video or something.
I think the video would do the work here. I think it's.
I think
there is for me at least that the number one reason I build a product is like I don't want to take care of this myself. So something that sells me free time, less customer support, like something that my day is busy. I have a bunch of things to do. I don't want to take care of this. So it relieves a burden on my mind. And that's what I want to see in the headline.
yeah, I mean, if you find like a short formulation for that, but like you need to tie it to how to say, not the product necessarily, but it need to like fit the reading flow basically. If you just throw something like, oh, save time doing customer support, that could fit for any product. And like I'm sure most people would love to have more time, but people need to understand quickly this is what it does for you. So maybe you can put it in the headline, but then the hub headline need to say something about the product or something. Like you need to tie it in a way or another to the product.
Oh, so it could be something like self-serve invoices. So you
for your customers actually. Yeah.
Something like this. And here, I don't think I'm a big fan of this one. I think the payment, the fact that we pay, I think it's not really important. This one is nice.
Actually, you wrote it here. Yeah, focus on your startup, not the invoices. Yeah, I guess that could work. Focus on the startup, not the invoices.
Sending. Oh, this is nice. Focus on your startup, the invoices. Ship your startup in days, not weeks.
Yeah, yeah. I guess, I mean, that's a good focus on this, not this. Focus on your startup, not this. I think this kind of formulation can work for any product made to improve the productivity of founders. But I think this one can work, but I would pick like managing strip invoices. Tired of managing invoices or something, because it's too long. But that could work.
I think those three headline for pick the most to me.
I'm not a big fan of stop wasting hours sending invoices, because sending in the invoices take like 1 minute. So, but maybe managing invoices. Stop wasting hours managing invoices or something like that. I don't know. But it needs to be related to customers. So I don't know.
I mean,
there is like a missing.
I think if this is clear now. If it's an invoice, it's definitely for the customers.
No, because it could be your invoice that, for example, you make a purchase, and but with the stripe, I think that can work, because it implies that, oh, this is for like payment methods. So I think this one in this state could work. So actually, I think we have 3 pretty good headlines.
Yeah. Self-serve invoices to work.
First, now let's see for the sub headline. So we want to add a bit more. I like the self-serve invoice for customers. So putting up of managing Stripe invoices. Yeah, I like this one. Self-serve invoices for your customers, because you directly see what the product is.
Okay, so apologies in advance. If you hear some sounds that sounds like someone is having sex, my wife is doing a workout and she's wearing earbuds. She doesn't know she's making sounds. Just so we're clear here.
Maybe I put like a background music.
A little cafe, lo-fi cafe. And bingo.
Yeah, lo-fi cafe ambience. So I think this is a good flow. We start with one of those 3, then self-serve invoice for your customers, and then we can add a bit more with the description. So yeah, actually, I think this one is good. So that doesn't mean that the final version, but we already get something to get started, and we can always go back to that. So now I think it's a good time we use all creativity, but let's use ChatGPT to see if we can find some more examples.
Let's do it.
Actually, you can use. Let me find the link, because I made a ChatGPT for copy specifically. Let me just find it. Yeah, copy GPT.
Let your customers find, edit, and load transparency so you don't have to. Edit and download the Stripe in. Reduce customer support in just 1 minute. Okay, I think we're pretty good here. I mean, yeah, it's up to Nico, but do you think we should? Because this is not perfect, but you know, we can sleep on it and see it again tomorrow. Because if we want to do the problem agitation, the feature stuff, and finish before it's nighttime here in Bali, what do you think?
Yeah, true. I think we can just go with that for now, actually. I will just throw the link to the ChatGPT in case you want to use it later or whatever. Copy GPT. So I trained it on like copywriting materials. So
let me send that to the chat, I think, if I can, on OBS. Let's see what we get.
I think I sent it to the to the YouTube chat.
I'll send it to Twitter then. Oh, there's no
actually someone.
Yeah.
On Twitter there is.
That's
on the right.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And actually, just someone give a headline idea. Actually, not bad. Give your clients one-click access to invoice without paying extra 0.4. That would be a really good invoice, good headline. If we focus more on the like money angle, but I think that could fit somewhere else. But yeah, okay. So here we have the hero, and like, so people at this point should know pretty much what the product is about. But I think it would be interesting to show an example. So that's where a video, like a quick demo video, would be handy. So either on the right side or at the bottom, showing how easy it is. Like you do like a screen studio demo or something like that. I think that could do the trick.
Do you just thinking, do you think people will play the video? Do you think the video would work? Because there are two ways. These people will never watch a 2 minutes video, at least not on the landing page, not on the hero section. So do you think it's better to have like a 10-second video where we can see a customer, like maybe, maybe that makes sense. Maybe like a notification pop-up that says, can I have an invoice? And it sees the person typing back like, just check out find your invoice here. It sends the link, and the customer, we can see the customer typing in the input. Okay, that would make sense. Perfect.
Yeah, I think I would do that, like as a autoplay video, like looping, no sound, whatever, on the right side, but like maybe like 30-second maximum or something like that. And then you can add like also more complex demo video, like, this is how it works, like a 1 minute video or something. Actually, I would split test with and without the video, because lots of people will be like watching the video and probably get distracted after, so they will leave. So I would test to see if the conversion rate change. But yeah, that could be a demo video could work too.
But just so we because at least the way I do things is I try to avoid split testing and testing stuff at the beginning, because I have no clue if actually people will want to use this product. I have no confirmation, no validation. And so I feel like if you split test something before you know if people are willing to try it, that doesn't, you could split test something like very different. Then you could split test startup A, startup B, but split test headlines, split test videos when you have a startup ID, I feel it doesn't make sense. It makes sense when you have an established product like ShipPass, like your indie guides for Maker, your guides for Maker. For this,
so I think like at the beginning, anyway, you won't have the traffic necessary to run a proper split test. But I'm talking about the long term. like this is something you want to try, and because there will be something you will not put on the copy right away, but just keep it in mind for later, maybe test it. So I would like, if you pay, I think if you ask to pay upfront, I would make the demo video available right away so people can see. Or maybe depends, two possibilities. You can have like a how it works thing with like some short video that play in autoplay, like step 1, like link your Stripe, whatever, then step 2, send the link to your customer, step 3, whatever, and that would replace the demo video. Or you get rid of that and you put a demo video instead of like you talking like, hey, this is how it works, blah, blah. But I think to get started, I would go with the how it works.
No video?
That way people can just... so the can you go on the Talk Notes landing page?
Yeah.
If you scroll down, I have like, this how it works. So you can just show something like that. Actually, I need to update it. That's
I think that makes more...
But basically, you want to show like, oh, this is how easy it is. Like literally with a 3 seconds video, you can see, how it works.
Yeah, because I think if I make an entire video from people receiving emails to replying back with a link to customers finding their invoices and downloading them, I think it might be a bit tricky. And I think, as you say, it's better to have how it works 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. And maybe eventually have
at least for the backend. So like to explain like, basically like the more detail. So I would still add like the video of someone typing, like to really show visually in the hero, or maybe put the mobile notifications, but then you have like a big empty space, and then you have the how it works.
Yeah, I think the Monzo app landing page is quite nice. Like, not like, that's kind of like vertical landing page, big headline, sub-headline, description, call to action, and here this is not a demo of the product, but this is going to remember
the pain point.
Yeah, and then after we could have a how it works. Now that I get your attention, now that you know that this product is going to save you time and headaches on Stripe invoices, then you scroll and you have how it works, create your link, send it back to your customers, self-serve invoices. Yeah,
I mean, I would put something more before the how it works. Maybe like, like a typical problem agitate solution. So actually, if you can do that very easily and visually by doing what I did with I think you also did it with ShipFast, like doing this thing is like 5 hours, doing that 5 hours, and I also did it for Maker's Guide, like with the guide, without the guide, and this is some kind of problem agitate solution, like more like problem agitate. Like mine do problem agitate solution, yours do only problem agitate. But I feel so you don't have to write a whole paragraph explaining like, oh, you're doing that. Like, because I started actually with a big paragraph and I was like, no, fuck it. It's just too much text. I'm going to make something visual. But to start with, I think it's okay for the draft to just write a big paragraph, like this is a problem that agitate the solution. And then after, when you do the actual design, okay, now how can I make this more visual? You shrink it down to something like that. So I would add like problem agitate solution, then how it works. And I mean, the project is fairly simple, so it doesn't really need much information. So then I would just add like the price and then the FAQ or something like that. I'm trying to think of some other objections, but yeah.
So problem agitate solution, and the second one would be the how it works.
Yeah. Which is kind of a solution. It's like, it's pretty much solution. You just show how easy it is. Then I would add the price box and then the FAQ.
So this is somehow the features, and then pricing and FAQ. Are we good with that? So we have the hero section here at the top. And then we have the problem agitated solution, how it works, pricing, FAQ. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Trying to think of something else, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, like the point is not to make the whole landing page right now. It's just to get a rough draft, and then we can iterate on that. So yeah, I think that's good. And so for the problem agitated solution, I think for now at least, and you can, okay, you need to choose if you make like a with, without, or if you write some copy. Just keep in mind, it's okay to write text. People, will read if it's interesting enough, but don't put too many chunks of text next to each other. So the problem I had with the first version of Maker's Guide is that everything was text. It was like really boring block of text. So then that's why I ended up making things more visual. But I think in your case, can either, I think it's okay to write, but I feel for this product that would be a good opportunity for a with, without, because you can make a clear comparison. So that could be like with the invoice, then it's like each invoice is free or something, like invoice don't cost you 0.4% or $0.2, like free invoices, you like that's something you can actually compare. So I think that could work here. Let me think. I think so. That's one of those cases you could just make both. So make one text version and one like table version.
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe like
I'm trying to do a little research on Stripe invoices to see, if we're not missing something.
okay.
Customer information to create an invoice. That's great. Discount customer information. Right.
Trying to think what else we can put here. And so that's why the work, like the thing we did at the beginning, is essential, because then you can go back to it, like define the problem. So we have expensive, doesn't generate invoices for past one-time purchase. I need to update my invoice data, so that's something we can add here. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good comparison already. We have like a good with and without. And we could make a text version of that, because you also don't want your landing page to be like a carnival with like pictures and shit everywhere. So you want some text, like you want a good ratio with the good balance between text and like visual things. But I think like you need to see how it looks like at the end when you make the actual copy, but I think it should be fine. Just don't make it too like I don't know, too like not fun, but like I don't know.
Fancy.
Just keep it simple. Yeah, I think just keep it simple, because then we have how it works with the videos just under it. So you don't want to have like a, something popping everywhere. So just how it works.
What do you usually write for headlines above like this?
Do
you make a promise? Do you say something like the simplest?
So it's more to remind that this is for SaaS and softwares. Also a bit for SEO, because I'm trying to rank for advertising for SaaS. So it's a mix of, reminder, like, so people will be like, oh yeah, okay, this is really for me. But also to try to, get some keywords for SEO. But it's just to bash, to repeat people, this is for software, this is for software, this is for software. So we'll be like, okay, this is for software. Like they will really put it there. But it's not necessary, I would say.
Okay, you're right.
And it's also like, because I think, so there are lots of, Facebook ads course and stuff, but the fact I mentioned the first, because I don't think there is really, at least as far as I know, like guides specifically made for founder, like indie hackers who are looking to learn Facebook ads for software and SaaS. So I think the first one, like it show, oh, this is like unique thing or whatever. So it's also to reinforce that a bit. I don't remember exactly the logic, but probably something like that.
Okay. How it works, I think.
Yeah. So for this one, I think I mean, you can have more, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter. But I think for this one, you more would be more relevant if you do it because you know the app. And wait, what? So what what I like to do, if I include like videos or GIFs or something that play automatically on the page, what I like to do is just to have a visual representation. So maybe you want something like that. And here you can have like a video of what you want to show in the video. So that you have the headline. And usually for that kind of video, I don't like, you can have like a layout with, on the one side you have the video, on the other side you have like the headline and some description. Just I think it's with API key, right?
Yeah.
Just enter your API key and I'm making typo. at your okay. And then you click to the customer. Then what can we have here? No sign up or whatever. Sign up required. I don't know. I don't really like this one, but I would put something like that put emphasis on the simplicity. They just need to one click, whatever. They don't need to sign up. You don't need to do some kind of the portal shit where you have to manually sign them up, whatever. I would just put the simplicity here. And
made on
more just writing random order, just to get the ages, but can I start service system? So usually when I write copy, I like to focus first on the flow. So that's why the sentence it doesn't really matter yet. What matters is where are you taking the customer mentally. So you obviously not going to write that this sentence really sucks, but okay, I need to talk about no need to do it yourself anymore. Customer can do it, self-service, and no need to interrupt the work. So you want to talk about all the benefits related to you don't have to do it. The actual sentence you can change it later, but you just need to keep in mind, okay, this is the kind of stuff I want to talk about. That's where I'm bringing customers, mentally speaking, and you can always tweak the rest after. So if you think about it, the flow is just how the mental state of your customer. So in here, we just want to give information and make them sure that this is for them. They should keep reading. Okay, you should keep reading after the headline, to show this is for you, etc. This give a bit of details, but we want them to keep reading until they are convinced enough that they can click a call to action. And that's really what the copy should be all about. Is make them keep reading, give information, and then answer any question they might have. And actually, if you make a sales call with someone, it's usually you should ask questions to understand, okay, are they understand the situation. So this part you should do it before writing the copy. This is when you do customer research, and then you ask about your solution, and then customer will have questions, and you go back and forth, and at some point they will be okay, I'm interested, and then you sign them up. So that's pretty much the same process, except you don't do the customer research during the copy, sort of. It's done in advance, so you already know the customer. And so you will give information about the product, then answer objections, etc. And when you give information about the product, it's not oh, look, my product is the best. Our product has been working for 10 years, blah, blah. People don't care about that. You can tie that to emotional things. And you when you sell, you're selling, emotional stuff. So it's not about the product, because I said a lot, you should give information about the product, but you should both give information about the product, but also tap into the emotions, oh, this is how it makes better and stuff like that. Both are really together. So you're not just selling the product, you're selling the solution to the problem. And the product is just a sort of like a vehicle to do that, to justify the price. Like, oh, okay, we have this solution in this package and that's going to cost you that much. But really, you're only interested in the solution. So you need to give information about your solution. So that implies, yes, showing some features, but showing like the exact problem it solves, etc. I don't know, maybe I think that was a bit confusing. But point is, yeah, you should keep like focus on making people read the rest until they have enough and okay, now I want to buy. And that's why you should also have like lots of call to actions everywhere in your copy.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. It's like, don't talk about the product, but talk about what it does for customers.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can talk about the product, but it's just a justification. Like, we have this product, this is how it works, this is how it solves the problem. Basically, it need to be like the emotion need to be tied to the product and vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a pretty good baseline copy. Then we have the pricing box. You can just very important here to mention that's a one-time purchase.
So that's, yeah, the pricing, I think the pricing section, I think, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think after the hero section, the pricing section is the most important part of a landing page.
Yeah, because I think so lots of people will maybe just read the hero and they will skip the rest. They will go directly to the pricing because they're convinced, or maybe they just don't want to read, they will keep scrolling down. So you need to give like a recap of what they get, basically. I think ShipFast does it well. I think Makers That Guide do it well. I don't think, if you go to Danny's website, Headshot Pro, I think
pretty much all websites, like, it is a real like hack as a user. When I go onto a website of a product I've heard about, I read the headline, and then the second thing I do is to search for the pricing page. I click the pricing at the top, it goes to the section, and I know I will have a recap of all the features. And usually that's the easiest way to get information about the product. Yeah.
So yeah, actually, I think maybe you can show it on the live. Like if you go to Headshot Pro, you will see the thing, Maker's Light Guide, like everything. You get just the recap.
Yeah, this could actually be almost the hero section. It's so much clearer.
Yeah. So like you get the big headline, professional headshot for 10 times less than a physical shot, and that's the exact, like almost the same headline that he's testing.
Yeah.
Then another, description, and then the price, what they get, and the call to action, and some social proof. I think that's a very good one. But ShipFast one is also pretty good.
Pushing it. Where is that pricing? Yeah, all you get in the boilerplate, little headline. So what can we do here? I think we should we could actually reuse one of those headline. Focus on your startup. We do the Stripe invoicing or something like this.
Yeah, that's actually, so that's why even if you don't use all your headline, you can just put another one here. Like it's always handy to have like multiple headline. But I think we can here don't reinvent the wheel. Like the pricing box model works well, so we're just going to use that. No, wait. So this is for the features. So I think the headline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe like a quick, recap here, like some text, whatever. And yeah, basically what they get. I think here you want to remove objections about the what do I get? Like, do I need to pay for each invoice or something? So one-time purchase, no subscription, pay once, generate unlimited invoices. So I think this remove the biggest objections, like it's one-time purchase and I have unlimited invoices.
Unlimited Stripe accounts.
Yeah. and the Stripe accounts. I think we already have unlimited invoices here.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, exact. There's this, I don't know, I don't know how to frame that, but you know, the fact that all your invoices in Stripe become just one link, and then you send your link back to customers, you let them do their thing.
Serve link. We can always come back to that later. We know what we know we want to put it here to talk about that, but you know, we can leave it as it is for now and come back to it later. So I'm just putting brackets. Yeah, I guess. Oh, so we have the FAQ. Wait.
Yeah, okay, let's move on here.
So here, basically, usually you cannot really put too much question in an FAQ. So if you have a slight doubt, will people consider that? Just add it, and that way you're safe. Oh, someone asked, would you separate the pricing page from the landing page? So it really depends. Like if you have like a complex pricing page, so I would show an example. Can you go to Talk Notes? And I think there is a good example of that. So I have like a pricing section. It's like a really just basic thing. But if you go to talknotes.io.pricing, wait. Oh, yeah. Can you edit the address and remove the hashtag? Yeah, pricing. Then I have two plans, but I only promote one in my thing because I know most people will take the cheap plan. And the pro plan is usually people ask me first and I give them the address. So I know the majority only take the cheap one. So I only promote this one on the landing page. So you can have both. It really depends on your audience. I know in my case, most people have the plus one, but you might, that's something I would need to test actually. But so far that works well for me. So I don't want to break, what works. But you can have both. Just make sure your landing page is simple. You don't want to confuse people with price, with like credit system or some shit like that. Like there will be like you just want like to make it as easy as possible to just click and get the answer basically.
Yeah. That's headline, price, anchor price, full year of access, what you get. Yeah, this is important. Okay, so what do you think, Dave, by the way, for a call to action button?
I mean, something really simple like get order today or get it tried today. I'm not a big fan of try it. People will expect to be able to try it immediately. So I feel you might get lots of people who are like, oh, I expected to, try it. So get the invoice. I feel you should sell it as a software. Like, oh, this is a one-time purchase. So get the invoice. I think that would work. Get the invoice today or orders invoice, something like that. If you do free trials, try it for free, try it today, try the invoice, like just adapt the word to what you're selling. So you get the invoice. Are you going to run an offer for the pricing section?
Yeah, I think overall the price will be 99, and I think for the launch I'll leave it at 49.
Okay, so like that's 50% discount, more than 50% discount basically.
Roughly. I think lifetime access, as you said, big ones. Unlimited Stripe accounts. Yeah. I think then FAQ questions we don't have to, unless you want to, but I think we don't necessarily have to make the answer there.
We can do it like on the go.
Yeah. Easy secret. Is there any question that comes to your mind?
does it work if I let's see, maybe change, does it work only for Stripe? Does it work for Lemon Squeezy or whatever? I'm not sure if that could be a thing, and you can say no directly. But I think that's one major question. People will be like, oh, does it work for Lemon Squeezy or something? So the wording need to make it clear that you have to use Stripe. Is it secure? Yes. Let's see. Does it work for one-time purchase? If it was me back then, I would be looking for does it work if I don't have invoices already? If I didn't enable invoices on Stripe.
Do you think maybe it's the same question? What would be the best way to phrase it?
What do you mean?
Stripe invoices. Those two are kind of the same, no?
No, it's separate because does it work for subscription? No, I think it's separate.
Okay.
And I would even add another one. Does it fast actions? But yeah, I don't really see anything. See anything that coming to my mind right now.
Test transactions. Well, I think that's probably something I will feel as I get customer questions.
Yeah. And I think something really important that your landing page is not static. You need to improve it. If you get feedback from your customers, you need to tweak things. It's just something that evolves over time, and you can then make multiple landing pages for each type of users or stuff like that.
Yep. Okay.
But I think that's a good draft, honestly, to get started. I just need to, then we have the copy, then you can think about making a nice design around it, but shouldn't be that hard. Add some social proof, lots of call to actions, a bit more visual stuff, and I think that should be a good starting point.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, get something that's important. I think this you and Dan from MakerBox who mentioned it. Add social proof if you can. So if you have any friends who might be in use of the product, give them the product for free. Do something that you have real humans trying the product, and you can add their feedback on your landing page that shows that some people are actually using it and benefiting from it. I'm probably gonna have to ask you a little testimonial, Nico, if that works out for you.
Mm-hmm. No problem. That's something I wish I had 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a solid base for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. I would still, run GPT to try to find some extra ideas.
Yeah.
Sleep on it. You will probably get more ideas tomorrow, but at least that's a good start. We got the flow going. We start by showing people, okay, this is what it is about. This is, if you have this problem, this is for you. Keep reading. Then you show okay, this is what's going to be your life with and without this product. Then this is, how it works, the solution. Then this is how much it's going to cost you. And then you have extra objections or something.
Yeah.
That can also works.
Okay. Well, maybe you can check if there's some people in the chat who are curious about marketing, and I think maybe we can wrap up this little copywriting session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, there was a question by I don't know how you pronounce it, Jose, well, whatever. But okay. I remember reading recently on LinkedIn, someone suggested that something along the line, start something now versus get started now. So it's always good to be more specific if you can, but start sending invoice now kind of sucks. So start freeing up time, don't really tie to the product. So it's okay to just stay general if you can, but if you have like a, if you can make it very product specific, yeah, it's way better. Jose. Okay.
Jose.
Sorry for my accent. Yeah.
We'll create the landing page.
I only see the YouTube questions, so I don't know if there are other
questions. Now we get the little troop of people coming from Twitch. I think no serious question there. And someone asking who will create the landing page. And that will be me tomorrow. I'll use everything that Nico wrote today and add it to TailwindCSS components and have hopefully a landing page to show tomorrow and available for purchase.
I mean, you also wrote nice stuff, honestly, like the headline and stuff. That was some like pretty good ideas.
Sick, man. That was fun having you.
Yeah. Well, I hope it was I hope it was useful. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it.
I mean, if anyone is into marketing, I think it's a good recommendation to follow Nico on Twitter, which is Nico Janen. Sharing some good valuable tips in there, and also building at the same time a startup called TalkNotes, which is I think at 3,000 monthly recurring revenue right now, and at the same time making an ads.
300.
Okay, that's an extra 10%. 3.3k MRR, and at the same time sharing your knowledge that you got from ads in this guide that you released recently. This is actually this helped me set up my Facebook ads campaign, which I think we are sitting at like something like $51 per purchase, 7 purchases in the last 7 days, so that's 1 purchase per day, which is exactly it, because we spend $50 per day, and 1 purchase is worth $1.99. So that's a 4x return on investments. So
that's actually pretty good.
It is pretty good, yeah. And this is all thanks to you, because you've set up the entire Facebook ads for me. And so you made a guide here where you actually share what you learn as a marketer for Facebook ads. And at the same time, you help other indie makers like me and yourself with TalkNotes, where you have your own software that you promote with Facebook ads. And this is how you grew to 3.3k MRR. So if you're here in the stream, definitely recommend checking out what Nico is doing.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. So it's, I mean, ads are pretty nice to grow, but it's, I wouldn't recommend to start directly with doing ads for this new little app. Probably do some validation first, but I think that could be a fun thing to do after, like a live stream. Like, okay, we have validation, we try ads. That could be something fun.
I hope the product hits the market and we get there. We're gonna live stream everything. Yeah. That's pretty fun, man. I mean, this is the first. Like, I would never expect to have a guest. I would never expect to live stream last year. I did it, and now, like, I'm having a guest like experts like you coming up to the show. That's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. So let's see where that goes, man.
It's it's but I think we got pretty good consistent viewers like toward since the beginning. But I hope this was helpful, and I mean, just let me know if you need I don't know, more ideas or something. And I think you should give the link to the ChatGPT, like CopyGPT. I think a few people asked for it, so maybe in the YouTube description and stuff like that could be useful.
So we can download. Yep. Do we still have it here? Oh well, shit! I think I removed it.
Oh, okay. I will send it to you on WhatsApp, and you can do it after.
Okay, buddy.
But I think I put it on my Twitter.
Okay. So yeah, definitely check out Nico's Twitter. He has made a GPT assistant or whatever GPT thing to help write copies based on your existing copy. Yeah, I think we can wrap up for this. I'm probably gonna switch back to my typical stream, solo stream thing, to give a little bye-bye to people watching.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure. See you another time.
Thanks for joining, man. It was a pleasure to write the copy with you.
Yeah.
See you around, buddy.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And I think this will be the end of the stream for today. It's a bit early, but things went really well and a bit faster than I thought it would. So we have, as a quick recap, we've made this little startup thing in the first day 1, day 2, day 3 on YouTube. If you want to watch the recap on my YouTube channel, you'll see all the videos there where we actually coded that thing. The product went live yesterday. It's a simple Stripe invoice generator to help business owners avoid doing invoicing thing. As you can see here, this is live for me. I have connected some of my Stripe accounts, and then I have a unique link here that I can say to my customers where they can retrieve their invoices, edit them, and download them. We have an empty landing page for now. As you can see here, there's just a buy button. Nico wrote a really nice copy today, so we have a solid base for tomorrow. I'm going to tune in and make the entire landing page. So I'm going to go back to the text editor, to the VS Code editor, and actually write the entire copy. Yeah, I'll tune in for a few minutes in the chat if you guys have any question. And then tomorrow will be probably the last day of streaming until we are live. Would you recommend a demo on the landing page? Yes, definitely a demo, if possible. Try to do it for all my apps. Nico, who was here earlier, has a demo of his AI tool that summarizes your voice notes into actual notes. And you can press here and you can actually do the entire demo here. And I try to, sometimes in the case of, for instance, ShipPass, one of my Next.js boilerplate, it's hard to show a demo, so I have an image that recaps exactly what the product is about, what you get when you purchase. So definitely recommend it to add a little demo somewhere above the fold on your landing page. Will you promote it on ads? And yeah, I think Nico here mentioned that it's good to do ads once you have some kind of validation. If you have a few customers already, if you have a good landing page, you can run ads and be profitable. Otherwise, you can try I'm not very good with that, but you could try to run ads to validate a need. But I think you would need to know what you're doing. Otherwise, you might just end up burning some money. How do you get your client acquisition? How are you finding new clients to link them? Sorry, let me reread this. How do you get your client acquisition? For instance, how are you finding your clients to link them? So I'm not sure, but if the question is about how would I get customers for the tool, this would rely mostly, probably because, I build in public on Twitter, so I have a little audience there. And those people are also like me using Stripe, so they might have the same problem as me. I'm not sure yet, but I have to test it. So I build a product. I'm going to share it with a couple of tweets, and if people react to it, it means that there might be something. I'm also going to launch on Product Hunt, Hacker News. It's taking a little bit time to load. Oh, they changed the header. Yeah, I'm going to launch on Product Hunt, Hacker News, Reddit, and see if there are some demands there. What inspired me to start streaming? I think, so probably you guys know who Peter Levels is. I love what he's doing. I got really inspired by what he did, and this really changed my life, like seeing his tweets and seeing his little projects, and so I decided to do the same, but taking it to a different format. He's been writing a lot on blogs before. Now I think he's doing sharing most of the things he learned on Twitter. I think there is some kind of a connection. It's quite friendly to have a YouTube live, and so I'm giving YouTube a little try. And also this is That might sound crazy, but I'm a bit slower when I'm doing things on YouTube. But on the flip side, I feel like if I commit to a stream, I have to show up. And once I'm here, I cannot just check my phone and, go on Instagram. So there is some kind of extra productivity that I get from being live on YouTube. What time will the stream be tomorrow and what time zone? So this is 3 p.m. my time here in Bali. I will show up tomorrow, I guess, around 10 a.m., 10 to 11 a.m. And I'll be streaming until the landing page is done, which will take a unknown amount of time. I hope to be done by the end of the day. If you are on YouTube, you can check the replay of all the lives that I've done in case you cannot be here during the lifetime. What Nico Facebook software use? What Nico Facebook software were you talking about? You use to stream with house music back in the days. Oh yeah, that's where Peter used to stream. Yeah, I saw some of those. Yeah, I'm giving it a little try, see where that goes. Are you in Bali? Yes, I'm in south of Bali. All right, I think that will be a wrap up for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Let me try to show you my stupid face. Hey, there we go. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a pleasure working with Nico. I hope it's a fun, interesting thing, stream, whatever. I read all the comments that you guys make. I have no idea where this is going. This is the third stream I do, so please let me know if you have suggestions, questions, anything, so I know where to take this stream. And until tomorrow, I will wish you a pleasant day. Bye-bye.